by the way, they're doing almost a 7-mile route. It was highway and urban. We did lane changes, merges into highways. So all of that is something that we can demonstrate today. Okay, now at some point you have to go and go to the right. So you see it's signaling right now. Okay, and it is trying to determine what's the right time. You see the other vehicle is stopping, right? So we're able to squeeze in. So this is demonstrating something that we call socially cooperative behavior, what I mentioned before, right? It won't just squeeze in abruptly, right? It will signal, it will stop a little bit, the other vehicle will pick it up. We're also able to see, by the way, vehicles coming from the side. And because we understand where we are and where we're going, we know that that vehicle is not going to intersect with us, and therefore we continue, we don't stop, right? Okay, so we're now coming up again at another intersection. Stopping by.
I'm surprised at how close it gets.
Yeah.
That's a big surprise for me.
Yeah, if you ride with different other vehicles, you'll see that there's difference. It has to do with the policy.
Okay.
Right.
This is software tunable. We can change it ourselves, by the way, of what's the envelope that you want to give and how comfortable you want to give. We like to tune it in a way that what we call it riding with confidence.
Right.
Okay, so it drives with confidence. It will drive like you would drive probably, right? In some cases in the past, like 3 years ago, it would drive very slow, it would inch, like keep a very safe distance. But then, the feedback we got is like it kind of drives like my grandma, right?
Yeah.
And people were not happy with that. It kind of felt different. Okay. Yeah. Now we're pulling here into the lane, and we're making a right turn here. Okay. Oh, so this road is a little interesting. If you take a look, there's really no good markings here, right? Lane markings, right? Normally, self-driving cars would anchor themselves with the lane markings. Okay. We don't just use those visual cues. What we have here is using the visual, the video, the radar, and the lidar. We're able to determine the edge of the road, the other vehicles, and based on that, we center ourselves to where we need to be, okay, and calculate the path. Okay, so we're going down the road. By the way, the same model that you're sitting in right now we did 3 years ago. We did a ride with this vehicle, coast to coast, west coast to east coast. Okay, 3,500 miles. Okay, it was 99% running autonomous mode. 99%.
99%.
Yeah, the 1%. What do you think is the 1%?
Parking.
Merging onto highways.
Pulling on in gas stations.
Oh.
Okay. Parking again. Stopping for a hotel. It was multiple days. Yeah. So this vehicle I mentioned before at CS, we did that 7-mile route. We had multiple vehicles that were doing it. It's also, by the way, hooked up to cellular, so we can see exactly the location, the position, fuel consumption, everything else. And again, we got this command center where we can see all of that live.
So how much data is, you said it's a terabyte an hour?
Yeah, it's in the vicinity of a terabyte an hour, call it between 1 to 2, right, depending on what it is that we collect and at what speed. The information we send up to the cloud is not 1 to 2, obviously. We send only the telematics information. We have a storage unit at the back that we use that in order to pull all the information off the vehicle. Okay. So how does it feel for you guys so far?
The right-hand turn was pretty sharp.
Yeah.
I did a lane change again. It's not surprising if somebody were driving, but kind of knowing that somebody's not actually driving, it was a little abrupt.
Yeah.
And said that maybe it's your first time to turn that corner there. I would have thought that if you weren't so confident there, then perhaps you would have done the same thing, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, now this is all again software configurable, and what we do is we learn from that experience, including your feedback, and we can tune it, right?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I thought the first lane change felt kind of slow. Like I felt like one person just looked at their shoulder like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the second lane change, like right before the turn, that felt like a little bit jerky.
Yeah, we find, by the way, that some people, it depends where you're from and what you like.
Yeah.
Some parts of the state, as I said, people, drive in a certain mode, and some, they drive in a different mode.
I drive a German car, so
okay,
a fun one.
Yeah, so you can really anchor down, right, when you make those turns. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, maybe a little bit regarding, again, I think the partnership. So again, Mobileye give us the vision system. We do the lidars and the radars, and we do the blending of the fusion. Then we do all the policy planning and behavior software that runs based on that Automatica software. This is the acquisition we did from Carnegie Mellon. That's a team that we have in Pittsburgh.
Right. I was wondering if any of that was Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah. So that's Carnegie Mellon. We also have a team out here in the Silicon Valley. So quite a lot, software developers, and they do all the algorithms and tuning them. The compute platform comes, basically the chip itself or the compute comes from Intel, and we bake all of that into a piece of hardware.
And it's all most of all the compute's in the car, right?
Yeah, it's all here.
What part of the car is it in?
It's actually under the trunk.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a cavity, and we basically placed everything in there. We did all the routing and everything around there. Okay, so here it is. We're now pulling over to the right. We're back to the Intel campus. We'll be making a left soon. Okay, so you're going to get to see a left turn as well. Good. Any other questions? Yeah.
Did you have any problems with testing sort of situations throwing the vehicle around?
No, not really. I mean, these algorithms have been baked over the last actually 10 years. If you think about what we got with automatic acquisition, these are people that worked on the DARPA challenge, which was really the first self-driving car like a decade ago. So they've been tuning it for a long, long time. We don't see a lot of very unusual events. And of course, we do drive it in multiple locations. We have cars right now in Europe and in Asia, like in Singapore, and over in the US, and we're collecting more and more test data.
So while it was in autonomous mode, did you ever once have to take the steering wheel or
No inputs from me.
Okay, so
Yeah, we also monitor that and we report it, by the way, as well. And none of that is happening. It's pretty rare.
Thank you very much.